You may think Valentine's Day is just another Hallmark holiday, but its origins are actually rooted in blood and gore. Now that's romantic. Picture this, it's ancient Rome, and it's the middle of February. There's a festival going on called Lupercalia, and it's not for the faint of heart. Men are running around, sacrificing goats and dogs, and then, get this, they're taking the animal hides and whipping women with them. Yikes. Not exactly the box of chocolates and bouquet of roses we're used to, right? But here's the kicker, the women didn't run away screaming. No, they welcomed it. They believed it would make them more fertile in the coming year. Talk about a love tap. Fast forward a few centuries and we've swapped animal hides for heart-shaped cards, but the spirit of celebration remains. So, next time you're buying roses, remember you could be whipping someone with an animal hide instead. You're welcome for that mental image. Ever wondered who sent the first Valentine's Day card? It was actually a medieval prisoner. Talk about jailhouse romance. Let's travel back to the 15th century, to a time of knights and nobles. Picture Charles, Duke of Orleans, locked away in a damp and dreary cell. Not exactly the setting for a romantic tale, you might think, but it's here that our love-struck Duke pens a heartfelt letter to his wife, confessing his undying love. Now, if you're imagining a scrappy piece of parchment scrawled with the words, "I heart you," think again. This was no hastily scribbled note. Instead, Charles poured his heart into eloquent verses, creating what's considered the first Valentine's Day card. So, while you're rushing around trying to find the perfect Hallmark card, remember, the tradition of expressing your love through written words started in a prison cell. Started behind bars. Makes your store-bought card seem a bit less romantic, doesn't it? Nothing says I love you like a bloody gangster shootout, right? Let's take a stroll down memory lane to the year 1929, on a day that was supposed to be about love, but turned into a scene straight out of a Tarantino movie. Welcome to Chicago, folks, the city of wind, jazz, and on this particular day, murder. You see, on February 14th of that year, 7 members of Chicago's North Side gang found themselves on the receiving end of a Tommy gun salute, courtesy of Al Capone's South Side Italian gang. It was a brutal daylight execution that shocked the nation and forever scarred the history of Valentine's Day. Ah, the roaring 20s when be mine could mean be riddled with bullets. Quite the romantic sentiment, wouldn't you agree? So Valentine's Day isn't just about love and chocolate, it's also about cold-blooded murder. Isn't history fun? Feeling guilty for not buying that expensive gift? Don't worry, Valentine's Day is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They can afford to lose your pennies. Let's talk about the commercial side of Valentine's Day. You might not know it, but this holiday is a goldmine for businesses. Every year, people splurge on roses, chocolates, and jewelry to show their significant others how much they care. In fact, it's estimated that Americans alone spend billions of dollars on Valentine's Day gifts annually. And that's not even counting the money spent on dinners, trips, and other extravagances. The price of roses skyrockets, boxes of chocolates fly off the shelves, and jewelry stores are packed to the brim. The industry thrives on the guilt and obligation that Valentine's Day brings. So the next time you're feeling pressured to buy that overpriced bouquet or fancy necklace, remember, you're just feeding the beast. So remember, nothing says I love you like contributing to the capitalist machine. Happy shopping! Think Valentine's Day is a global love fest? Think again. Some countries would rather toss it in the trash bin. Let's take a whirlwind tour around the world, shall we? In South Korea, Valentine's Day is a monthly affair with the 14th of every month dedicated to love. Talk about commitment. On the flip side, in Saudi Arabia and Iran, Valentine's Day is banned. They view it as a Western import that doesn't align with Islamic values. Meanwhile, in Wales, they celebrate St. Dwynwen's Day, the Welsh equivalent of Valentine's Day, on January 25th. Here, lovers exchange unique love spoons, a tradition dating back to the 17th century. And then there's Estonia, where February 14th is Friends Day, a day to honor friendships. So as we traverse from the love-drenched streets of Paris to the spoon-giving Welsh, it becomes clear that while love might be universal, the celebration of Valentine's Day is as diverse as the world itself. So no matter where you are in the world, remember, love is universal, but Valentine's Day certainly isn't. Ever wonder why it's called Valentine's Day? Well, it's named after St. Valentine, but which one is a mystery? You see, the Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus, all of whom were martyred. One legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with families, he outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of this decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. Another story suggests that Valentine may have been killed for attempting to help Christians escape harsh Roman prisons where they were often beaten and tortured. But no matter the truth, each story emphasizes his appeal as a sympathetic, heroic, and most importantly, romantic figure. So even the name Valentine's Day is shrouded in mystery and confusion. Sounds about right. Cupid, the cute baby shooting arrows of love, right? More like the god of desire, erotic love, attraction, and affection. Not so cute anymore, is he? Let's dive into the murky waters of Roman mythology for a moment, shall we? Cupid, or Eros as the Greeks called him, wasn't always depicted as a chubby, cherubic angel. In fact, he started off as a rather handsome and somewhat unruly young deity. The Romans visualized him as a winged youth, armed with a bow and a quiver of arrows. His aim? To pierce the hearts of gods and humans alike, causing them to fall deeply and often foolishly in love. It's a far cry from the sanitized, diaper-wearing Cupid we see today, isn't it? Interestingly, Cupid's association with Valentine's Day is somewhat of a modern invention. It seems we've taken this mischievous god, stripped him of his complex character, and made him the poster child for a day dedicated to love and affection. So, next time you see a cute Cupid decoration, remember he's actually a mischievous god with a naughty streak. Humans aren't the only ones who get frisky on Valentine's Day. Birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. Indeed, love is in the air, the water, and the undergrowth, and it's not just about the chocolate and roses. Nature has its own way of celebrating Valentine's Day, and it's a lot less about Hallmark cards and more about raw, primal instincts. Take birds, for instance. Many species engage in courtship rituals around mid-February, fluffing their feathers and singing sweet serenades to woo their mates. And let's not forget about insects. Some bugs, like the romantically named love bugs, mate around Valentine's Day, filling the air with tiny buzzing symbols of love. Even in the deep blue sea, certain species of fish synchronize their spawning around this time, creating underwater love festivals that would make any romantic blush. So, if you're ever feeling lonely on Valentine's Day, just remember, somewhere out there, a pair of fleas is having a better day than you. Ever wondered why the heart symbol looks nothing like an actual heart? Well, you're not alone. The heart symbol, that ubiquitous icon of love, bears a puzzling resemblance to, well, not our actual hearts. So where did it come from? Some scholars believe it originated from the now extinct plant silphium, used in the ancient world as a form of birth control. Its seed pod bore a striking resemblance to the heart symbol we use today. Others suggest it's a representation of the human heart simplified by medieval artists. Another theory, perhaps the most romantic, is that it represents two human hearts fused together, symbolizing eternal love. Regardless of its origin, this symbol has become the universal emblem of love and affection and is inextricably linked with Valentine's Day. So the heart symbol we all know and love, it's a lie, but then again, so is most of Valentine's Day. In case you missed any of that, here's a quick rundown of what we've learned today. We delved into the murky origins of Valentine's Day, where romantic gestures were not always the order of the day. We revealed the first Valentine, which wasn't exactly a Hallmark card. We took a chilling detour to the Valentine's Day Massacre, reminding us that love can sometimes be a battlefield. We then exposed the billion-dollar Valentine's Day industry because nothing says "I love you" quite like consumerism. We globe-trotted to witness Valentine's Day traditions around the world, some sweet, others bizarre. We attempted to untangle the Saint Valentine mystery, proving that history can indeed be stranger than fiction. We unveiled Cupid's dark origins, a far cry from the chubby cherub we know. We ventured into nature, where Valentine's Day takes on a wild twist. Finally, we explored the history of the heart symbol, the universal sign of love, and there you have it, folks, Valentine's Day, a holiday of love, murder, mystery, and capitalism. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.